Hi, everybody. Welcome into today's show here on JTV. It is Wednesday. I can't believe it's already Wednesday. I'm David Rice. That is Adam. Hello, Adam.
Hello, man.
Thank you to the Insurance Circle Agency. Appreciate them. Pataki Orthodontics. Great smile as always in style. We actually had them on the morning show today, too.
Hey, all right.
So you can go back and watch that online at jtv.tv. Before we get to all the football happening this weekend, because there's a ton of big games at the local level, some big college football games, and I'll stop there because there's really no good NFL games. But before that, a couple other things. High school boys tennis state finals. Lumen Christi competed in the state finals at Midland on Monday. They finished tied for 13th at the state final. So congratulations to Lumen Christi on a great season on the tennis courts. You can find tennis pictures online along with our daily scoreboard at jtv.tv. Jackson Christian Soccer, they fell 1-0 at Royal Oak Shrine on Tuesday night in the regional matchup that ends their season. But it was an unbelievable season for the Royals and their first district championship since 2011. So congrats to Coach Barney and the Jackson Christian Royals. I still think about the district final game last weekend, Thursday. You know, because soccer's their sport too. So just watching and having all of their support and all the students there was awesome for them. And they don't really get a lot of coverage really by anybody. So shout out to the Royals and their soccer team in a great season. Cascades East-West crossover is this Friday, week 9. All games except for the championship, which we will get to because that's going to be a really good game. All the games are Friday at 7 o'clock except for the championship. So 6th place, EJ Vandercook, a rematch from earlier this year. Vandercook beat EJ already this year at EJ. And now this one is going to be at Vandercook. Vandercook handled him pretty good and actually scored over 40 points against East Jackson. Although total between both teams, there were, I think, a combined 89 penalties, according to Jeff Steers, and the game got over at about 3:30 in the morning. But besides that, that'll be a good game. 5th place, Michigan Center at Homer. Center looking to end the season with a win with their tough loss to Manchester last week. That closed the door on the playoffs for them. But they can still beat a Homer team and end off the season on a high note. And we said it a lot this year, and I'll go back to that now. But, you know, they've been so banged up. And even from the, first game of the year when we covered them at Lumen, I mean, they had so many injuries. Now they're on their, second or third string quarterback. And a couple weeks ago, you can go back and watch the highlights from earlier in the season between Michigan Center and EJ on our Facebook. After the game, Coach Allen said that this was probably, one of the hardest years for him so far as the coach here. But nonetheless, I think when you add in all the factors of the injuries and they've lost some close games and everything together, I still, I still liked how they did this year for the most part. They did what they could. Obviously, some of the huge matchups they weren't going to win. They beat the teams that they were supposed to and that they needed to. So, still an okay season for Michigan Center either way, despite all the injuries. But we've talked about it before, though, Adam. I mean, they have all, and they're not all seniors. Some of those skill players will be back, the next year or two as well. So they're still a decent team with some exceptional weapons, and they'll be back for sure.
Yeah, Coach hit the nail right on the head. It's just been a very tough season for them. And we hope that next year they're able to, bounce back and be what we expect them to be, and that's contenders every year.
In the fourth place matchup, Grass Lake needs to win, and it's not fully 100% guaranteed they'll make the 32 and get in, even if they win. But of course, they have to win, though, to be right there. And Grass Lake will play at Addison. Addison is another team right now in Division 8 that needs to win to stay in the playoffs. So two teams that are trying to save their season on Friday night at Addison. I wish I could be watching that game. That or the next game, third place. Napoleon will be at Columbia Central. We will get to more of our thoughts on that game during the picks. But I see one, factor that one of these two teams has already dominated in this season, and they're the clear runaway favorite in this game. But I will get to that. Second place, this one I know Adam was looking really forward to. Manchester, Jonesville for second place. That is going to be an epic game.
It's going to be a great game. I don't even know who to pick.
I have my pick.
I think I have a pick, but still, it's like it could go either way.
But you've been rocking with Jonesville, though.
I have been.
The last handful of weeks, you've picked them almost every time.
That's right.
And most of it ended up being right. So
that's right. See, I've been right. I've been on them.
And of course, the Cascades Conference Championship. First place in the East, Leslie, going to first place in the West, Hanover Horton, at noon on Saturday. I will be there. Noah Baker will be there. Josh Burgett will be there. I'm sure other people will be there. Either way, we will have a post-game player coach interview that we will bring to you from that game on Monday's show, along with highlights coming up next Wednesday. We will not be here next Wednesday. We'll have more on that on Monday's show, but we will bring you highlights from high school football. So looking forward to that. And the following week, we're going to have some guests in the studio too. So the cool things coming up here on the show. And playoff picture, Division III J-High, they're still in right now, according to the projections, even though they started 4-0. They've had some bad breaks. Now they're 4-4. They're still in, but they need to win and get in this week against Lansing Hazlitt. Of course, Hazlitt playing without their star running back. But Jackson High has still struggled on both sides of the football. And they got to give it all they got this week. The way the last 4 weeks have been, 2 of those 4 losses were by 7 points or less. So tough losses. And then the other 2 were blowouts. But, J-High needs to lay everything on the line here pretty much. And you can take advantage of that on the defensive side of the ball where they have been struggling because Hazlitt won't have their star running back. What's Hazlitt's offense going to look like now? So we'll find out. Vikings versus Vikings, Hazlitt versus Jackson. Division IV Western is in still, even if they were to somehow lose to Penfield this week, which won't happen. But if it does, they're still in either way. But because they lost another game last week to Hazlitt, they will likely be on the road first round. They would need to win and have some other teams around the state lose to get a home game. And based on the other teams, looking at the, where the points, the other teams that they need to lose, I don't think will lose. So Western is still in without that's not changing. That's guaranteed. But they will be on the road. Division 6, Lumen is in. GL, Grass Lake needs to win and get in at Addison. Division 7, Napoleon is in. Leslie is in. Hanover is in. Jonesville needs to win and get in. Hanover is, of course, again in, and they're guaranteed to host, at least in the first round. Anything after that will really depend on this Saturday. This Saturday's matchup against Leslie will really determine, 2 or 3 different districts in the MHSAA bracket. Even that's how big of a game this is, in addition to it being a conference championship. And this is the first time that both teams will be in any sort of Cascades championship for football. And for Leslie, this will be the first time they're in any sort of Cascades championship for any sport since they've joined the conference. So this is huge for both schools. It's just going to be, a whole magnitude of things, and it's going to be packed at Hanover. So I'm really excited. And then after that, I get to go to Ann Arbor and watch Michigan lose to the Spartans on Saturday night. So
You're going to be at that game?
I will be.
Oh, boy.
So you'll hear from us Monday.
Oh, yeah.
Monday, 7 o'clock. But no, we will have player and coach interview from the conference championship from Saturday. So, and then Division 8, Springport and Manchester both in. And again, Addison needs to beat Grass Lake to win and get in. So for all this, daily scoreboard, photo galleries each day or each week, you can also now subscribe to your favorite school, all for free. Just go to jtv.tv. You see it there. You'll hit subscribe on the homepage, your name, email, what school. You can do more than one school, too. I think, I don't remember who was in the building, but they said they were going to subscribe to all
I think
the
you said
schools
Andy
on there.
did.
Yeah, I think Andy subscribed to all the schools on there. So, but it's free, and every week you'll get something sent to your email inbox, and it'll have everything that's happened that we've covered in the last week, including all the scores from the daily scoreboard in the email as well. I'm subscribed to multiple schools, of course, including the Lake. So,
That's right.
for free. We're not behind a paywall. I don't want to call other people out, but we are free. The only place in the area that's free. JTV.tv, subscribe for free. When we come back, we'll continue high school football. We'll have our game picks for week 9. And on Monday, I will give you the final total point count. So that's coming up on the next show, but we'll do the picks when we come back. Welcome back here on JTV. D. Rice, Adam with you. Thanks to the Insurance Circle Agency, Jackson, Battle Creek, Personal, Home, Life, Auto, Motorcycle, everything thanks to the Insurance Circle Agency, where we'll know your name. MyInsuranceCircle.com. Ready, Adam? Let's get to our game picks. High school football for week 9. 8-man action. Last game of the year for the Yellow Jackets. Concord taking on Bellevue. Concord has struggled. Give me Bellevue.
Yeah, same thing here. I'm thinking Bellevue. Like you said, Concord just has not played well. So
They've been okay on the other than last week against Leonard Christian. Besides that, they've been okay on the offensive side of the ball. The scoring isn't the problem. The defense is
they'll
the
just
problem.
give up 70 points in a game. So
Yeah, they'll score 40, but
yeah,
you can't win when you give up 7 too.
Right.
So, Big 8 action. Springport taking on Potterville in a non-conference game to wrap up the regular season. Springport lost again last week to Bronson. Springport started 6-0, leading the conference. They lost to Union City, so then they were second. They lost to Bronson last week, so Springport will finish third in the Big 8 conference. But they're obviously still a great team. I think they'll win a playoff game, at least one. So give me Springport to finish 7-2.
Yeah, I think this is a good bounce back game for them. And I know I've said this a lot of times this year, and at least recently they haven't been picking up the wins. But give me the Port.
Yeah,
I'll take the Port.
Talked a lot about Hazlitt. They're without their star running back. They beat Western last week at Parma, and they are coming back down to Jackson County to take on the Vikings at J High. J High needs to win and get in. Now that they went from 4-0 to 4-4, give me Hazlitt.
Yeah,
And I want to pick Jackson High, but they
You could.
They've struggled too much.
You could take
But
them.
they've lost 4 in a row. In 2 of those games, they gave up running clock 35-0 to Chelsea. We were there.
Mhm.
And then they lost 50-20. They gave up 50 last week all to a ranked Marine City team.
Yeah. It stinks that
Defense
I have
and
to pick
discipline have been the issues. Sorry.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
well,
I'll
no.
take Hazlitt.
Well, but that's what I was gonna say. Like that is my biggest thing. Is like if you're not disciplined, like you can't play good, intelligent football, and they just have not been able to play good football. So, unfortunately, I have Hazlitt. I feel like that it kind of their playoff hopes, even though it started off looking like they were almost gonna definitely make the playoffs, now might not get in. But I got Hazlitt here.
Let's see. Lumen Christi, they're playing at Ford Field. I already said it on Monday's show. This is the first time of 2 that they'll be at Ford Field this year. They are going to make it back there Thanksgiving weekend. They're playing Kalamazoo United at Ford Field Saturday at 1:30. Non-conference action. Give me Lumen.
Yeah. I said early on, even with the loss they had early on, that they were going to make it all the way to Ford Field. I didn't think it'd be this early, but they're going to win this trip to Ford Field, and like you said, they'll win their. I have a feeling they'll win their next trip there as well.
They'll make it there on their next trip.
Oh, they'll make it there. We'll see if they win, but
D6 is pretty tough.
it is tough. But I think that their
Some
team
other
is
people
really, really good.
around these parks have said there's no other competition in D6.
Whoa!
I don't think that's true. There's 2 more teams ahead of Lumen who have more points than them in D6, or 1 more team. There's other ridiculous teams in Division 6. So it won't be super easy for Lumen to just cruise through.
Right.
But I will take them against KZoo United. Northwest wrapping up their season on Friday, looking to go 4-5 if they can beat the heavy favorite here, really good team in Harper Creek. Harper Creek beat Western this year. Western beat Northwest. Harper Creek will beat Northwest.
Yeah, boy. So what is your outlook on this game? Like, what do you think is most likely to happen in this?
You mean like score?
Yeah.
I think Harper Creek big. And we saw their highlights a couple weeks ago when they played Western.
Yeah.
Their running back, just their running game is ridiculous, and the speed that they have.
Do you think
on
running
offense.
clock?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I have Harper Creek here. I don't think Northwest is going to be able to play up to them, but I guess that'd be the big question: is do we think this could be a potential running clock, and how much of a statement do you think Harper Creek's going to make? But yeah, I got Harper Creek here as well.
Let's get into the Cascades crossover games. We'll start from the bottom, work our way up. 6th place, EJ Vandercook rematch. Vandercook hung 43 on him early this year, week 2. Vandercook, give me the Jayhawks, the Cook, again over East Jackson.
Yeah, same here. I got the Cook, man. We're matching with all of our picks here. But yeah,
Do we not have a separate one, a different one?
Not one so far, so we'll see. But yeah, I have Vandercook here. I both teams have struggled, so you could really go either way. But I think Vandercook has played a little bit better than East Jackson has this year, so I'll take the Cook.
5th place, Michigan Center is going to end off their season with a win against Homer. Give me Center.
Yep, same here. I got the win for Michigan Center, even though they have struggled with injury and everything else that we've talked about. I think they will pick up this big win, and they have played very well recently, so I'll take Michigan Center here.
4th place, the Warriors. Grass Lake need to win and get in, and they play at Addison, another Division 8 team that needs to win and get in. Give me Braden Lape and the Grass Lake Warriors. You know I'm picking Grass Lake.
Yeah, I knew you were picking them, but I had to pick them as well because I've been with them longer than you have been picking them because you just didn't have faith in them. You just didn't have faith with them a few weeks ago. So,
as I said on Monday's show, I got some calls from and some words from people.
So crazy.
Why did I pick against Grass Lake? Well, because going into those 2 games, I didn't think they were a better team than Leslie, and they're not a better team than Leslie. I still don't think they are even after the win.
Wow. Okay.
And it's debatable whether they're better than Manchester, even after they beat them. Going in, obviously, I didn't think that.
Sure.
But give me Grass Lake over Addison. By the way, for the selection, all the districts and who makes the playoffs, that'll all be announced 4:30 p.m. on Sunday, this Sunday, on FanDuel. You might be thinking, if you haven't heard about it, David, isn't FanDuel betting? Yes, it is betting. Bally Sports is now FanDuel. Same channel and everything, same spot on the TV guide, but it's now FanDuel Sports Network, which is
It's weird.
sad.
Yeah, yeah, it's weird.
But they're not bankrupt. So, but that'll be Sunday at 4:30 on FanDuel. But give me Grass Lake here over Addison, and you're taking Grass Lake too, right?
Yes.
Okay. Third place, a rematch. I said I would talk more about this now. Napoleon, Columbia, Brooklyn-Napoleon rivalry, Battle of M50, kinda. And they already played each other once this year. Napoleon ran over the Golden Eagles. And I said there was one factor that one of these two teams has dominated in these last few weeks especially, but most of the season. And that's why I think Napoleon will win big over Columbia this week. Because the last 3 weeks, Adam, we've talked about it, Napoleon, like last week, they almost ran 500 yards. And the week before that, like over 400 yards.
Right.
And 300 plus the week before that. The way that they've been running their T this year has been dominant, like I've said before about Lindemann and Manchester. It's almost on that same level. And it wasn't a blowout when Napoleon and Manchester played. So if that gives you any idea between those two T teams.
Right.
But Napoleon, big, at Columbia. They will end Columbia's season at their place.
Wow, he's making a statement. I'll Yeah, no, and I agree with you. I'll say the same thing, that I think Napoleon ran all over him before. They're going to run all over him again. We're going to see exactly what we saw prior. So I have Napoleon winning this game by a lot.
I don't think it'll be a running clock.
I don't think it'll be running clock, but it'll be more than one score.
Oh, yeah. No, it'll be more than one score. But I think I've said in the past couple of weeks, because although I will say Columbia only lost to Hanover by 9 last week, and Napoleon isn't as good as Hanover.
Mm-hmm.
So could that play a factor as well? Could it be a really close game? I mean, obviously, we hope for all close games.
Right. I just think Napoleon is clearly the better team of these two, and I think their offensive line, I've talked about it in the past, their offensive line
they've been more
ridiculous.
consistent on offense.
Yeah.
And this is the time of year, you want to gel it all together, play your best football right before you get to the playoffs in week 9, and that's exactly like what we've been saying Napoleon's been doing.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
That's why I'll take the Pirates.
Yep.
Second place, Manchester at Jonesville. That's going to be a dogfight. Jonesville needs to win and stay in. Manchester's already in. Give me Coach Lindemann and the Dutch against Jonesville.
We differ on a pick.
I'm not surprised because you've been riding with Jonesville.
Yeah, dude. So
which is fair because they've been playing well.
They've been playing great. I got Jonesville here. This is the closest of all the games. I think even closer than Hanover and Leslie, in my opinion.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm saying it. I'm going on a limb. This is going to be like a 1-score game. This could be like a 3-point game. But I'm taking Jonesville in a dog
3-point game with two teams that run wing T that don't have kickers.
Well, you know what I mean. You know, it's going to be close.
Yeah.
It's going to at least be close. But I'll say 1 score. I'll at least say that confidently. I think it's just going to be a dogfight. Watch it be a 3-point game and you eat your words.
Soccer player comes out to kick.
Somehow.
Hard. And then, last but not least, in the Cascades, the championship game, the East champions, Leslie, versus Hanover from the West at noon on Saturday. I'm still thinking about it in my head. I have my pick circled here. It's tough. It's an air raid. It's a spread. It's passing. against Wing T.
That's right. What's your heart go towards?
My,
What's your heart say?
you know, my heart and my gut are telling me two different things.
Uh-oh.
My heart's telling me Hanover because of the way Leslie played last week against Grass Lake. Hanover beat the you-know-what out of Grass Lake earlier this year. So my heart says Hanover, but I have a feeling in my gut I will take Coach Tim McCann and the Leslie Blackhawks. Give me Leslie.
I want to take Leslie, but just because I know I must be down on the picks and I know I have to win some
I
points
haven't
back.
calculated the
I
totals
have to
again.
be down.
I need to.
Yeah, but I have to be down. So I'll take Hanover here. And this isn't like I'm reluctantly taking Hanover or anything like that. Like Hanover is so good for a reason.
Right.
But
both teams are so good. It's like either way, I would have been fine picking either team.
Yeah. So it's not the end of the world. But yeah, I'll take Hanover here. They do have a really good shot at winning this game. I think they can definitely control the clock and can take over. So, and they have a quarterback that can still do it. So I will take Hanover here to pick up the huge win against Leslie.
And that's what I think makes the difference over Hanover. When we talk about, their more air raid passing offense versus Wing T. Sure, Hanover's Wing T, they run the ball. But it's a little bit different versus Full House T. Full House is more three backs, more bigger fullbacks and running backs. Straight run. Difference with Hanover is they have the quarterback with the arm. He's a baseball pitcher that's going to play in college, so he can throw the football too. And that's what I think the difference could be if Hanover wins. Could they make some surprise plays and pass the ball? They have the capacity to do so. Either way, I think this will be a hell of a game, and I'm really excited to watch this on Saturday. Then our final game, watch this live on JTV Friday night. Myself, POD, Dan Gallagher, and Max Fritz at Western. Give me Western big over Penfield. Northwest beat Penfield 30-10 last week. Penfield struggled, so give me Western.
I have Western. I have running clock.
I agree with that.
There we go.
Running clock,
All
Western.
right.
When we come back, we will make our college football game picks. There's a lot of good college games. So we'll make our college picks and NFL picks. Stay tuned. Welcome back here on JTV. And David Rice just did our high school game picks. We have a lot of good college football games. Not as many good NFL games, I'll admit. Maybe the Thursday game is the best one this week. And it's rare to say that about the Thursday game. Because I don't even think the Sunday, especially not the Monday game, I don't even think the Sunday game will be that great.
On paper, it's good. Like, if you hear the two teams, you think it's going to be a good game, but then, yeah.
Right, but Dallas sucks. That's the thing.
Well, that's the thing. Like, on paper, it's like if you told me going into the season it'd be Dallas against Niners, you're just like, yeah, Dallas Niners, that makes sense for like a Sunday game. But the way both teams have played, it's just kind of like, and the injuries that the Niners have had, it's just kind of like, well, that's going to suck.
Right. College picks, number 12, Notre Dame at the Midshipmen, number 24, Navy. Both Army and Navy are now ranked. Both ranked and both 7-0 for the first time in a long time. I'm going to take the underdog upset. Give me Navy at home against the Irish.
Wow. Gosh, that would be so cool if that happened, especially at home.
And it's a ranked team. So when you talk about Notre Dame's, playoff resume and their case to make to get in, they lost to an unranked Northern Illinois. And then if they were to lose to a ranked Navy, where would you put Notre Dame in that, in that playoff discussion? But I'll take Navy.
Wow. Okay. I got the Fighting Irish. I think that they shouldn't be here. It's weird. I don't think Navy should be here. I think Notre Dame is probably.
What do you mean they shouldn't be
I
here?
don't think Navy's really faced that great of competition to even be ranked at this point. And I think some of that has to do with the, when you're an independent school, the teams that you're facing. But for them to be 24th is kind of just like, eh. So I'm almost looking at them as
Well,
unranked.
To be fair, I know they beat Alabama when they were number 1, but Vanderbilt has only won one good game, and they're ranked
Yeah.
at 25.
But to me, it's just, I feel the same way with them. I feel like I know they beat Alabama, but I almost feel like it's too early to be ranked for them as well. I don't know. I could be wrong. Navy might win this game. Navy might win this game and prove that they do belong here, but I don't think they won't be here. Even if they lose, they're not going to be ranked anymore.
Right.
So I mean, so I'll take Notre Dame. I'm almost looking at Navy as unranked, so I'm taking Notre Dame.
And Navy and Army play a lot on the Thursday or Wednesday night games. So I actually have watched Army and a little bit of Navy often. And Army, not, Navy's still undefeated, but Army has been the more dominant of the two. Like Navy or Army scoring 5, 6, 7 touchdowns a game. Like they're just ridiculous on offense. And they aren't exactly wing or full house T on NCAA. But that's their Army playbook is what I rock with on NCAA.
Oh, nice.
That's my style of football.
I like it. Yeah.
So, I will take Navy there. Number 20, Illinois at the new number 1, Dylan Gabriel and the Oregon Ducks. Give me the Ducks.
Okay, I thought you for a second you were gonna have number 1 go down again. I got Oregon here at home. They, I think, are proving that they are the best team.
Because I know Illinois. I know they dominated Michigan, but it was still 21-7.
Yeah.
Both teams still didn't look great. Illinois, number 20. Even the way Illinois looked against Michigan, no way they beat Oregon.
Yeah. I do think this could be a 1-score game, potentially
Really?
like a 10-point game. I think it can be. I don't know what Vegas is saying, but I think it could be close, but of course I'll take the Ducks here at home.
Number 21, Missouri at Alabama. Alabama now number 15. If Alabama loses one more game, that's it for the playoffs.
Yeah,
for
you're
them.
right.
So in that case, I am going against all family members and all family friends. Doesn't matter. Give me Missouri to end Alabama season in Tuscaloosa.
Wow, that would just be a heartbreaker for the Tide. Thanks for the free pick here. I will take Alabama. They're going to bounce back, I think. Well, that was a tough loss against Vanderbilt, so they need to come back. So I say they pick up the win here against
tough
Missouri
loss against Tennessee too.
Well, that was last week. You're right. Yeah, so those are 2 tough losses, but Tennessee's a really good team, so I think they bounce back here against Missouri.
Speaking of Vanderbilt, number 25. I still don't know how Vanderbilt's ranked. I know they beat Alabama, but anyways, number 25 Vanderbilt at home against Quinn Ewers, and now number 5 Texas. Vanderbilt will not pull off the upset.
I was gonna say,
give me Texas. I'm not that dumb.
Yeah,
well, kind of.
I was surprised.
No, I'll take Texas.
Yeah, this is a good bounce back spot for Texas. They're not going to take.
Would technically look good on their resume, even though it's Vanderbilt. They're ranked.
Right, which is so weird. But I think Texas bounces back themselves here against Vanderbilt. I think Vanderbilt got very lucky against Alabama, hung in there and won that game.
Well, time out. I watched most of the Vanderbilt-Alabama game. Vanderbilt, from the first snap, was the more dominant
for
and
sure.
better
But
team.
do you think if they play 5 more times, do you think Vanderbilt wins all 5 of those meetings?
Not all 5.
I don't think they win. They might play them 100 times, and they might only beat them once or twice.
I don't know.
You don't know about that? You think Vanderbilt's legit? You think Vanderbilt's like a legit
I don't want to
team?
say they're like a legit, big house name by any means, because they're still Vanderbilt.
They're gonna lose to Texas. they're going to lose a couple division games or conference games
against bad
teams, and they're going to finish their year. Sorry, Vanderbilt fans. They're going to finish their year.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah, sorry. They're going to finish their year like, I don't know, like 6-6 or something like that.
The
and
Vanderbilt Golden Eagles.
Yeah. So it's just like when you look at that team at the end of the season, I mean, we'll bounce back. I just realized what you said. We'll bounce back at the end of the year and look at them and see what their record was, but I don't think they're going to be anything special. So I think that was kind of just that happens in football, right? A team just is hot. Certain circumstances in a game make them play better and play up to an opponent, but I think they're going to lose, and they're going to lose by a lot to Texas. I think.
If Texas is going to be really pissed off from last week.
If this was high school football, this would be a running clock in the first half. That's what I'm calling.
Yep. Number 8, LSU on the road to Kyle Field College Station, taking on number 14 A&M. Give me Brian Kelly and LSU.
Hey.
Although A&M right now is still at the top of the SEC.
Yeah, so this is...
But LSU, really because of Alabama losing 2 games now, Vanderbilt winning a conference game, because it still counts on the conference record, Georgia has a loss, and now Texas has a loss. Just saying, A&M, LSU, this is an interest... Ole Miss is still somewhat right there.
Georgia, like
Missouri,
you said, yeah.
Georgia. So this SEC, that top 7 or 8, they're all going to be packed in there.
Yeah.
So,
but Georgia's got.
But give me LSU.
Georgia's got to win the SEC though. But they got to. They got to win out now. They got to. If they can beat Tennessee, I think there's no excuse. Tennessee's their last really good. Ole Miss as well, but Tennessee's the last really good team.
Yeah, I ain't put Georgia Tennessee on our picks.
Well, we got to at least make that pick because that's a huge game.
I missed that. I'll write.
We'll
it
add
in.
that in for the last one. Second to last one because I see what the last one is. So we'll have to talk about that. But LSU, Texas A&M. I'll take LSU here as well. I think this will be where Texas A&M kind of slips up here, even though they're at home. This is close though. I could definitely make a case to pick Texas A&M, but I'll say Kelly and LSU get it done.
Georgia, Tennessee, I guess technically, unless if you're like South Carolina playing, whatever bottom feeder in the SEC, every other team in matchup from here on out in the SEC, like I just mentioned, because of the standings, every single game matters now for the conference. And because the SEC is so good with all the playoff teams or ranked teams, it matters for the playoff too. Georgia, Tennessee, give me the Bulldogs again.
Are we sure that is this week?
Maybe it's next week then. Because I was looking at the schedule. I didn't see it. That's why I didn't write it down. Is that next week?
Wait a minute. Next week is against Florida. Week 11 is against Ole Miss.
I don't know how I did this.
Week 12 is against Tennessee, David. Week 12 is against Tennessee. So we still got a little bit.
You know what? No. Scratch that whole game off the paper.
We could make an
But I
advanced
do think
pick.
Georgia right now would beat Tennessee. But we'll skip that.
They got Florida and Ole Miss to worry about first, and then it will have
they'll
matchup.
beat Georgia. They'll beat Ole Miss, and they'll beat Tennessee. So, Sparty at Michigan for the Paul Bunyan. I will be there.
The Bunyan.
I would normally say proud U of M season ticket holder.
Proud?
I'm not proud. Look at the way Michigan's played.
Oh, gosh.
And because Michigan State, I know Iowa's not ranked anymore, but Iowa's still a good football team. Michigan State handled them last week in East Lansing. Aiden Childs had a hell of a game. They ran the ball. They did exactly what they were supposed to do against a really good Kirk Ferentz Iowa team. So I think it's crazy how last year it was number 1 Michigan versus unranked Michigan's like bad unranked Michigan State. And now this year it's the unranked, bad defending national champs Michigan against a not super bad unranked Michigan State team. I think coming into this game, I would have Michigan State as the favorite. I don't think ESPN has them as the favorite on the spread. What is the spread, by the way?
3.5. It's 3.5.
Michigan 3.5?
Yep. At home,
Oh, that's too close for comfort. I don't.
Do you think if you had to predict a final score in this game, what do you think it would be?
I can't do that.
But if you just had an
Because
idea.
Michigan, this could either be a shootout or we could play like if Orgy was still starting and just be horrible.
If you had to put it out there, what do you think it's going to be? Do you think it is going to be high score? If you had to lean towards one, do you think it would be high scoring?
I think it'll be a lower scoring battle.
Okay, I was just asking for a friend.
As much as I don't have any confidence in Michigan, and I wouldn't be surprised if Michigan State comes to Ann Arbor, burns a few couches, and beats Michigan in the big house, I do think Michigan State can and maybe will win this game.
What?
But of course, I have to rock with the Wolverines for the pick's sake. But I wouldn't be surprised if Michigan State gets the win. I wouldn't.
Well, just so you know that in sportsbooks, the line originally opened at -5 for Michigan, and then slowly but surely everybody's been putting money on Michigan State, so that line's been adjusting now to 3. So people do have faith in Michigan State, like you said, and I agree with you.
I think this will be an awesome game, by the way.
Yeah.
Back and forth.
So you think it could be
That environment in the big house.
Yeah. So you think it could be high scoring?
It could be.
Yeah. It's close, but I'll say I can't pick against Michigan here, especially against Michigan State. But I think Michigan State's going to come in knowing they have a really, really good shot at winning this game, especially with the quarterback they have.
And I think they're
Hamilton.
aware too.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I think you mean that Michigan State's aware. Right. Yeah, but I think also Michigan might also be aware that they're thinking this is their chance to win, so we need to shut them down. So I'm going to take Michigan just so I don't have that on my conscience in case Michigan State does win.
That's playing it safe with your conscience.
Yes.
NFL Thursday night. This might actually be a decent Thursday game. The Rams have said they're open in business and trading Cooper Kupp. And the Vikings coming off a tough loss to the Detroit Lions. Give me the Vikings to bounce back against the Rams.
And thank goodness they did lose against the Detroit Lions. That's good. Yeah, this is a great bounce back spot for the Vikings. They're against a team that really has been dealing with injury this whole time and just hasn't been able to put everything together yet. So the Vikings, this is just a slip up right now, which is weird because early on in the season, I was just like, what's going on with Minnesota? But clearly they are a good team. I even heard that there's potential trade rumors for Stafford to the Vikings, which doesn't make any sense.
I did see that.
Doesn't make much sense.
And Sam Darnold to the Rams.
Why would that happen? I mean, it's funny because it's like the Rams are essentially trying to do the trade that they did with us to another team and trying to take a quarterback out of the, just trying to do almost the exact same thing, but getting the younger quarterback instead of the older quarterback. But I'll take the Vikings. Like I said, they're just clearly the better team. They're way more healthy, so we'll take them.
The Titans are the second worst team in the league, and now without D-Hop, give me the Lions big over the Titans.
Yep. Big against the Titans. They are not great.
This will be like all the starters don't play second half.
Yeah, I do believe, though, if you are playing fantasy football, to start a guy like Tony Pollard, because I think they are going to throw it to him a lot. I think that we are going to get pressure against his offensive line, even without Hutch. So I'll take the Lions by a lot, and if you play fantasy, play all your Lions players, but also play Tony Pollard.
Apparently Tua is going to be practicing again this week or next week.
Can you believe it?
That's a whole... we can talk about that either next week or the following week. But I do want to talk for a few minutes, though, about Tua and his injury. Because a reporter asked him, are you going to wear the Guardian cap? He's like... Oh, why would I? That's a personal choice. And some people were not happy, online in some discussion on that.
I'd be curious what the science is saying on those Guardian caps, how much those are helping. I just don't know. I don't have enough information on that.
I don't really think anybody's released a ton of info on the stats yet.
So that's the thing. If it doesn't end up working and maybe it's potentially going to hinder your job as a quarterback and make it harder for you, I don't know. So it's like those are things that I can't take an actual stance on because I just don't know the research on those, if those are working and why he really, because saying it's a personal choice, that's not the real reason why you're not wearing it. You're just not telling the real reason why you don't want to wear it. So that's what I'm curious about. What's the real reason why you don't want to wear this?
Right. But anyways, Dolphins will not beat the Cardinals. Give me the Cardinals.
I have the Dolphins here. I think if Tua comes
What?
back, that team is
Well,
completely
Tua's
different.
not playing this week.
Are we sure? Was it released
I mean, they
like
haven't
today?
said. They said he may or may not even practice this week or
Oh,
next
weird.
week.
Okay, because I was looking
So
at
he's not playing for a few weeks.
because I was
still.
looking at fantasy and it was showing that he was like projected points. He was projected like 17 points. So I was like, oh, I was thinking like
Tua ain't playing.
okay. Well, you know what? I don't care. I'm going out on a limb. NFL's weird. I'll still take the Dolphins here just because.
You need a few wins.
Yeah, so I'll take the Dolphins here. Probably won't happen, but if they play, they're at home, so we'll see. But if Tua plays, that'd be insane.
That would be it'd be a quick turnaround time for him. Another bad game. The Packers will beat the you-know-what out of the Jags. Give me the Pack at Jacksonville.
Yeah, the Packers, man. I hate to pick the Packers, but they're clearly going to win this game. I think the Jags might be the worst team in football. So, and I would not have thought of that going into the season. Definitely, if you told me last year, 2 years ago, that we would
Panthers are the worst team. Titans second. Jacksonville
really think
third
Jacksonville's
worst.
better than. Boy, I would love to see like a tournament with like the worst teams to see who really is the worst team.
You'd want to see the Jags and the Titans play.
Yeah, but I
Well,
want.
they're in the AFC South together.
Yeah, but I
They'll
want them
play
to.
each other
I want them to play
twice.
with like I want it to be almost like a Super Bowl. Like I want everything to be on the line, but just to see how really.
Madden. Do it on Madden.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe that's what we should do for our matchup: is just pick the worst teams. Instead
No.
of pick them.
No.
Well, last time you had me pick the worst team, and you had the best team, so we'll do something.
and
like
you
that.
still beat me.
Well, yeah, but we'll figure it out.
But that wasn't just because of the game. That's another
point.
discussion.
But wait, what are we doing? Oh yeah, Packers Jacks. But yeah,
But
I'm taking the
yeah,
Packers
go
here.
Pack. It's a blowout.
Not go Pack, but I will still say that they blow them out. I agreed. Not
Bills over Seattle. Seattle struggled. Give me the Bills.
yeah. Bill's gotta continue string some wins together because who knows with the Jets? I still have no idea about that team. I really don't.
They're
just
awful.
confused. Do we know who they face this week, or are they on bye? I'm trying to look at.
I don't-
They're at the Patriots, so they'll probably beat the Patriots. So Bill's got to keep winning, and I think Bill's. You don't think that? Oh my gosh.
No, I'm kidding. They'll beat the Patriots.
I was
I
gonna
don't
say.
think it'll be a blowout, but
I think they, but I think they beat them though for sure.
right.
So Bills have to keep winning. Bills will win this game.
Sunday night, give me the 49ers at home over the Cowboys.
Yeah, we talked about this game kind of sucking. I'll take the 49ers as well. Both teams don't look great. 49, but for different reasons. 49ers are banged up. Cowboys just don't look good, have not played well all year, getting blown out, blowing leads. So I'll take the 49ers.
And our final game here in our picks, Monday night, the Giants absolutely suck. Give me the Steelers again on prime time at Pittsburgh.
Yeah, this game kind of sucks. This is like one of those games that like when you come in.
Why is this on prime
Well,
time?
And this is Monday?
I'd rather watch Bills Seattle on Monday
Yeah,
night.
I mean, coming in Tuesday morning, this is gonna be the game when we all get here that we're all gonna be like, man, that game sucked. Like I could see it being super low scoring and just defensive bad that nobody
Oh,
really cares
God.
about. So yeah, this is like perfect Thursday game material. But I'll take the Steelers here. They are the only threat I believe to the Ravens in the division. So they're gonna keep fighting really hard. And Mike Tomlin always has his players ready to play. So I'll take the Steelers.
All right, that is it for our game picks. When we come back, more Jackson Rec Department Youth Football highlights. And before we go, we will remind you one more time, Western Penfield on Friday. Stay tuned. Welcome back here on JTV. I'm David Rice. Thanks to the Insurance Circle Agency. Of course, it's always fun. We showed highlights from rec football last Wednesday on our show too, and you made a return to the field
I did.
for more rec football, right?
I did. I showed back up on Saturday after a night of high school football, and we had a couple fun games. It's always fun being out there.
Yeah, always good to I know all the kids get excited. Hey JTV,
Oh,
they're there.
they were definitely excited when I walked out on the field. They were. I got there at the start of the second half of the first game, and those kids were like, "Whoa, JTV's here! Let's go! Let's go!" So they were definitely excited.
They play their A game now that JTV's there.
Yeah. Well, that team lost, but yeah.
Well, Jackson Rec Department youth football highlights. You can watch more youth football highlights online at jtv.tv. But we do have highlights here. Let's take a look. So you can check out more youth football highlights online at jtv.tv. This coming weekend is the semifinals for the rec department, so we will have highlights of that again. Will you be out there again this weekend?
Yep, I'll be out there this Saturday to see the semifinals and then the
so you'll be
Rec
at
Bowl.
Rec football at J High Saturday. We'll be at Hanover.
Yep.
And then we'll all watch Michigan hopefully win.
Hopefully win. I
So,
agree.
be a good Saturday.
Yeah, for sure.
And then the Lions and Packers will win on Sunday.
Hey,
So,
we can only hope the Lions win on Sunday as well, which I think
they
would-
play
will.
the
I was gonna say
they play the Titans.
Yep. I think Minnesota or I think Detroit and Green Bay is a safe choice this weekend. I'll say that.
But anyways, more rec football highlights online, and also next Wednesday, we will not be here next Wednesday because
Oh, what do we got going on?
of the Rec Bowl.
Yo.
The winners of the 2 semi matchups that Adam will be at this week will be featured on the Rec Bowl. Myself and I believe the supervisor next week.
Hey, all right.
the Rec
I think
Bowl.
that's who we had last year too. Was you two? That was a good
Me and
broadcast.
Andy did that last
Was you and
year.
Andy? I thought you and Dan did it a year, or Dan did it one of these years.
Last year was my first year doing
Oh,
the
okay.
Rec Bowl.
Dan did it a previous year though, but yeah, that should be fun.
So I'm looking forward to that, and then that following Monday we'll have highlights from the Rec Bowl. So got a lot of youth football highlights to show still in this next week or two. Real quick before we go, week 9, hopefully we get to bring you at least one live playoff game on JTV. I can't say anything about it now, but hopefully it's not our last game Friday. But week 9, Battle Creek Penfield coming down 94 past Firekeepers to the metropolis of Parma to take on Western. D. Rice, POD, Dan Gallagher, Max Fritz, 6:45 Friday. Another football night in Jackson from Minuteman, Sewer, and Drain. And NBA started last night, too.
Yeah,
It was really good for the
Bronny
Lakers.
James.
Historic moment for LeBron and Bronny.
Yep. First father and son playing together on the same team. in
Yeah, and
NBA.
you know, the Griffies were in attendance, too.
That's pretty cool. See, that's pretty cool.
All right, all the football scores, and tune in to FanDuel on Sunday to see if Grass Lake or Addison wins. Will they get in? Will somebody else miss out? Who knows? Tune in and on jtv.tv for the local matchups. We'll post on Monday as well. So have a great weekend. Go Pack, go Blue, and I guess that's it. So go to jtv.tv for high school sports scoreboard as well. We'll talk to you Monday.